be restoring my own E-Type Jaguar. It is so lovely taking cars to bits.
You can strip off the paint in layers.
This is all rotten as bleach. The bit I'm making is this door bottom here. Should come off. Ta-da! Welcome to A Car Is Reborn. I'm restoring a 1965 Series 1 E-Type Jaguar Roadster. Now, despite appearances, on the basis that wildlife is now inhabiting my bonnet, we've been cracking on over here. We've almost got a completely finished tub, and you missed the floor going in. No, you didn't. Here it is. The bodywork is coming on apace. We've almost finished the near side here. New floor panel, new bulkhead, new sills, all this is new here. Obviously the door is new. We're now working on t'other side. Rory is battling away with the new floor panel. Yep. It's very, very important that this side is absolutely perfect because this is the side that I'm going to sit in. Everybody who sits in the other side, frankly, is disposable. Just baggage. Superb. If you were watching the last show, you'll know that I did a bit of spot welding with these. Not man enough for the job though now. Yes! This is the tool for the job. Here we go. Yes, new wings both sides, new door skins, and the door mechanism is in. Look at that. New inner and outer sills on both sides. Doesn't the floor look nice?
Yes.
Now this series is called A Car Is Reborn because we're restoring an old car. Now at the moment you'll be thinking most of this car is absolutely brand new. Well, almost. About 70% of this tub is brand new. The only old bits remaining are the front bulkhead, the rear bulkhead, and the tunnel in the middle. But she is looking gorgeous, and we're just about to finish her off down here with the lower rear quarter bowl. Could you do it louder next time? Could you join in? Do I have to do everything on my own?
I must have forgotten what the car was. Yeah, so did I.
Well, it's sort of like a controlled short circuit, I'm told. If you've been watching the series, you will know this machine already. This is it, a three-phase spot welder. It has these big long arms. You can change the arms. Long ones we're going to use now because we need to get into that boot floor. But basically it generates a rectified, fairly low voltage and then whaps a huge amount of current through the ends of these prongs to melt the metal in between and create the weld. You can play with the settings on here, and I do love gadgets. All these things down here are settable on this little screen. At the top here we've got squeeze, which is the amount of time that it holds the two prongs together. And then down here we've got the impulse number, which we've set at 2, which means when you hold the trigger, you get one weld to start with, which is just a weld effectively to melt the zinc coating, and then a second pulse, which actually does the welding of the metal. So it's really important when you're doing it, you wait for that second impulse, because that's the one that's going to create the spot weld. Clamp off. That should be sorted. One fixed bowl. Absolutely brilliant. Bit of tidying up to do on that, but not much. Now, good opportunity for you to take a look at another fantastic classic. It's John James's Riley Winchester. And I've got to admit to something. I've had a bit of an accident, so when you come back, I'm going to be doing some panel beating. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115, 116, 117, 118, 119, 120
As far as we know, it is the only one left. They've researched it fairly well in the Riley Club, and they still say it is the only one left. But they only built a few in the first place. I bought it off a mate of mine. I knew it was there for the last 10 years, but he wouldn't sell it, and then he realised that he would never do it up, and I bought it off him and completely restored it, as you're seeing now. It took me 2.5 years to restore it. Main bit, the body. Mechanical was ever so easy, nothing on it, but the body is virtually all new. So we had to have a new wooden frame built and then put the aluminium around it, and of course every bit of it is made by hand in individual bits. The Riley Club have a lot of pistons made, gaskets, valves and that sort of thing, but the actual con rods and that, re-white metals and that, if you've got an old-fashioned engineer in place, they can do it for you. Mechanical spares are quite good. Body, non-existent. You've got to make all of it. It's a 6-cylinder engine, but typical Riley. The pistons are the same as the old 9-horse engines. Con rods are the same, but just a different crank pin size. Valves are the same. Push rod engine, but camshafts are in the block. Overhead valve. The timing gears at the front, basically the same as any engine, but the way Riley's have built them from 1930. Riley's appealed to me when I was serving apprenticeship, and obviously we got all the engines to take to bits because they were awkward and time consuming, and it's something that I've just sort of stuck to. If you're going to do it, it's a game of time and patience. And if you've got a reasonable amount of skill with your fingers and knowledge, you can do it. But you've got to give it time and patience.
See, what happened was a cylinder, you know, the big cylinders of gas for the welding, fell against the car and dented it. So we've got to fix it. Rory?
Yes, Mark.
Mr. Panel Beating Man, how do you knock out a dent like this?
We need a few tools to start with. So
okay, so what do we bash it out? Or
bash out.
No, I heard about using heat or something.
Do your bashing out first so you get almost there, and use the heat to shrink the metal back.
Can you show me how to do it? Because I want to do it myself, it was my accident. Okay. Alright, I've got to fix it. And a new skill to boot.
What you do is get your hand behind and then knock the dent out.
With that?
Roughly, yes.
With that thing, right?
Yep.
So you don't put anything on the outside to shape it or anything, you just kind of...
Just get roughly
there. Okay, here we go. Can it go too far? It almost like pops.
Yeah. There. See, the high spots are all the shiny metal, the lower parts needs to come out some more.
That area and in here. That's amazing how that shows it up really brilliantly, isn't it?
Gently tap, tap, tap.
Until you've got it up to that level.
Until you bring it up to that level.
Right, okay. Well, that's pretty much sorted now, but what we have got here is a ridge where the metal's folded and it's stretched here, so we've got to spot shrink that out, so a bit of heat required.
There we go. That's the area there.
Yep.
Just going blue. A dull red. Let's hold that one.
Yeah.
There we go.
This?
Yep.
So initially when you heat it up, you get this spot, creates a little high spot, but then as you're bashing it with the flippers, it almost like forces the metal in on itself, and as it cools, it really tightens up. Your metal's a bit thicker, but it takes away the high spots. Fantastic. That is it for part one. Join me after the break when I'll be doing a bit of lead loading. Well, I'll be kind of assisting because it sounds a bit technical. See you later.